Number 17, Cassie Priestley. Number 21, Odalyn Harding. Number 45, Shamari Dyer.
Peralta Nemhard, Rolonzo Bennett, Rickton Archer, and Casa Plummer, the men in charge of the game today. Plummer is the fourth official. Nemhard, the man having the responsibility of running the game minute by minute from the center of the park. The assistant referees no less important. The Harbourview lineup, it's an average age of 22.54 for these 11 men in the starting 11. Amal Knight, Orderland Harding, Kasim Priestley, Shamari Dyer, Akeem Mullings, O'Shane Staple, Tariq Zimenez, Trayvon Reed, Tevin Scott, Garth Stewart, and Jamon Shepherd. The oldest man in this lineup, Chris Taylor, is number 13, the goalkeeper Amal Knight, at age 28.
Yeah, young team. They will be playing a 4-3-3 formation. Kasim Priestley, former KC man, the captain. Look out for Tariq Zimenez as an impact player. And of course, Trayvon Reed, their leading goal scorer, with 2.
Portmore United, Benjamin Williams in goal, Shavoy Watkins, Stephen Young, DeAndre Cunningham, Alvinus Myers, Demar Rose, Jaheen Rose, no relation, Saniki Burton, Shea Smith, Rivaldo Mitchell, and Javik McFarlane. 22.75 the average age of this Portmore United team.
As you said, both these teams in a rebuilding process. Portmore United, they'll be playing a 3-4-3. Great to see Demar Rose back in the lineup in terms of his creativity and what he will bring there. Shea Smith as well in there, the potent man up front. And he's their leading goal scorer with 2 out of only 4 goals they have scored this season, Portmore.
Yeah, so this is the Portmore huddle. And they need the performance to be as full-throated, as full-bodied as that exclamation as they broke the huddle. The players and officials taking the peace knee. Our cameraman Michael Tingle is also taking the peace knee and getting in on the act. All right, so that's out of the way and we're ready to roll. Veralton Nemhard, man with the whistle, and here we go, underway in this game. Priestley immediately looks to find Staple on this right hand side. It gets to him, he puts it in, and just as Tevin Scott was getting ready to intervene, Benjamin Williams snatched it for Portmore. Amal Knight gets his first touch. You're going to hear a lot from Amal Knight this afternoon. Very vocal between the sticks. There's a problem already. I didn't see a contact on the play, but the Portmore man is down inside his own box. The man wearing number 20, Jaheen Rose. Lothar Bernard, the head coach of Harbourview, Kingston College Manning Cup winner in the same season, is trying to do the double of Manning Cup and Premier League title in the same campaign. Rose is back to his feet. No need for the medics from the Portmore bench, and he'll be fine. There's Lenworth Hyde. There's no better CV in local coaching history in Jamaica than the one this man has. And if you think coaching is the only thing, for many people, the best schoolboy footballer ever in Jamaica. As we see this long pass that Zimenez can take on the right foot. He was trying to fashion the shot, couldn't tiptoe around Benjamin Williams, and the chance was gone. But that was a chance for Harbourview that the young man didn't take. Route one stuff. Yeah,
not very often you see Tariq Zimenez indecisive, but I think he should have probably just kicked one time instead of looking to take an extra touch. By the time he did that, the space was closed down. What a chance.
Harding, the skipper for Harbourview today, gives it up. This is Demar Rose. Plays Saniki Burton. Well, actually that's the man wearing number 26 before Portmore. That's Rivaldo Mitchell, and it ran away from him. It's a goal kick. Dyer in goal has been outstanding for Harbourview since the start of this competition. Shamari Dyer, rock solid at the back for them. Chris is disagreeing.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm just saying he's not in goal. Amal Knight.
No, I think I said in the back. Yeah, he's in the back, isn't he? He's a centre back. There you go. So Priestley with this free kick looks for Zimenez, beaten to it by Young. And now Shea Smith comes deep. Bad touch by Jaheen Rose, and Harding and Trayvon Reed combined for Harbourview. Bounced off it by DeAndre Cunningham. Myers now for Portmore. Burton. Young. Anguish ran away from him. Dyer in the back for Harbourview. Right across. Mullings forward to Scott. Got his feet mixed up. Nice breeze blowing across the ground now, very nice breeze, which leads you to wonder if there's rain in the vicinity, but looking around, not really a looming threat around us. So let's hope the nice breeze continues. Heavy cloud cover over this section right now. Long may that continue. So Stephen Young in defense for Portmore. Oh, Trayvon Reed has a chance off the post! Slack defending in the back from Portmore United, and Benjamin Williams may have gotten something on it to just touch it onto the post. Whatever it is, Harbourview missed another chance. Portmore United dodging a bullet. They were trying to commit suicide just now. This is what happened at the back. The ball played across, and look at it. Yes, it was a fingertip save from Benjamin Williams. Excellent save. And he's having a right go at Stephen Young, as he should, because it was his loose pass across his own 18-yard box that caused the problem.
A dangerous play by Young. We heard him in a pre-match interview speaking about giving away 2 goals almost as if he was a goalkeeper. And that wouldn't have been a good start for him at all had he added a third. So looked to get away with that one, but yeah, Portmore Young at the back as well in terms of experience and showing in that moment.
Dyer forward to Reed. Shepherd. Captain Harding. Back to Reed. 1-2. Touch a bit too heavy, but Harding got there. And the referee says no foul on the play. Benjamin Williams holding the right hand. May have been kicked by Harding. Not intentionally. Back to Shepherd. Portmore under the cosh somewhat. Oh, a pass looking for Staple. So Benjamin Williams read it. Easy for him.
What a throw that was.
Yeah. Scott and Young in a battle, physically, shoulder to shoulder, that the Portmore defender won. And he really needs to settle his nerves, Stephen Young.
Just 20 years of age, as we said. Very young teams. Both of these, it's a support that's necessary. You will make mistakes. As I said, it's how you overcome them and the support from the rest of your team.
This is Mitchell running at. He's still in possession. Under pressure now from Harding, who had come back to help out in defense. Zimin is trying to find Scott. Walking on the crowd. So Portmore have been pushed back in the opening 6 or so minutes of this contest. Harbourview. A half chance by Ziminis, and a save, a sharp save by Benjamin Williams to his right to push Trayvon Reed's shot onto his post. So Burton back to Young. Rose has some time now in midfield. Goes long, tries to find Cunningham on his bike. But it was a pedal cycle. He needed a motorcycle. This is a handball shot, and the ball bounces here, obviously into the side of Chevoy Watkin. Not in a million years is that handball. Rather off the hip even, with the hand by his side. Even if it has struck his hand, not sure the referee would have given that. Harbourview playing out the back. Dyer to Shepherd to Mullings. Ziminis beaten to it by Myers. Rose to McFarlane over the top, and Dyer chested it back to his goalkeeper Amal Knight. Perhaps it is that the players will want to keep the ball on the floor in this wind because the wind is picking up. And a bad giveaway out the back. This is DeMar Rose into the path of Javik McFarlane, but Dyer corrected his error and dribbles out of defence. Shamari Dyer into the path of Staple on the chest first time, bursting into the box. Shane Staple. Staple across! And Tavin Scott. It whistled in front of him. Maybe it was too far away from him. And our angle would suggest that he should have gambled, but maybe it was far enough for him to realize he couldn't get to it.
Lovely overlapping run by Staple. I just think the pass might have been a touch too hard. Just a little bit. Lots of breeze here. But yeah, nice overlapping run by Staple. A man who scored 2 goals already this season and full of energy.
Staple once again. Staple, the shot is blocked by Williams. Staple a second time. Cleared off the line by Saniki Burton. Portmore under the cosh. Harbourview using the cosh quite liberally. And the Portmore boys looking not to concede yet. This is Staple. Good first touch. Williams right on top of the play. And then the second chance, that was heading for the back of the net, were it not for Saniki Burton's intervention.
Good work by Staple. Great energy on the right flank. Portmore playing with the 3 centre-backs and not enough coverage coming, and so Harbourview exploiting that very well.
Priestley with the left-footed corner goes far post, trying to find Garth Stewart anyway. And it ricocheted off. It took a piece of Scott, then took a piece of Stewart, and then came off Shea Smith. That's why referee Nemhard says corner. Corner comes in, booming. Stewart wins it at the back post. Wasn't much of a contest really, but he couldn't find a teammate. Williams goes long looking for Rivaldo Mitchell. The bounce favors him and he gets away from Harding for the moment, but Shepherd came across. This is Mitchell! And look at the sliding challenge from Akeem Mullings. Very, very crucial intervention there. And I must say, Chris, neither team looks secure at the back.
Maybe that's why they both have negative goal differences. One ahead of each other in the table as well. Harbourview 7th, Portmore 8th. And those chances are coming a lot, much too easily.
Dyer looks for Staple once again with that long pass out the back. This time the pass is too long. That's the outlet that they've been choosing. This man, the outlet ball to him on the overlap. He's more right winger early in this game than right back for Shane Staple. And he's reaping joy down the left side. This is Rivaldo Mitchell. Look at Odell and Harding. It was actually
really
who
tackle.
got back to after being beaten. And then the cleanup was by Akeem Mullings. So yeah.
Great tackle by the skipper. I actually thought that was going to be in the back of the net from Rivaldo Mitchell, the former Woolmer's old boy.
Shoulder to shoulder between Reed and Myers. Referee Nemhard deeming Reed to have fouled the St. Lucian. So Young from the back now for Portmore, looking to build. Watkin. Rose, gave that away. This is Priestley across to Harding, and Rose steps in, knocks it away from Trayvon Reed. Harbourview though remaining on the front foot, pressing. And I'm wondering if that ball fell to Tariq Jimenez on his left foot. if he would have struck instinctively rather than trying to dress it as he was trying to dress it for the right-footed strike. Myers goes long.
And he is very two-footed, Tariq Zimini, so it's a bit of a surprise. Always willing to cut in on the right and the left, whichever direction he's going, so I don't think it would have been a big deal.
Harbour playing with it at the back for the moment. Shepherd being called short by his goalkeeper. Takes it now. Doesn't see much movement in front of him though. Doesn't really see much movement and he's waiting. So he has to use Garth Stewart. A shout of relax, relax from the goalkeeper, Amal Knight, telling them not to hurry the passing. Harding fell at the critical moment and he's robbed. This is Mitchell. Oh, the pass was bad for Javik McFarlane. And the other St. Lucian making his frustrations known. So that's Mitchell beating Shepherd to the pass. And then look at Odell and Harding just zip by at the crucial moment with the intervention. And then Mullings helping his keeper to clear the ball away. Cunningham into the midfield to Rose. Nudges it to the other Rose, Demar. Cunningham takes it back. Burton now. Nice interplay between Rose and Cunningham. This is McFarlane back to Cunningham. Can he find Rivaldo Mitchell? Yes, he can. Mitchell's cross comes and it's low. Dyer blocked it, but it's not yet clear. And Dyer once again has his body in the way. Rose brushes off Trayvon Reed. Still Rose. Mitchell takes possession now. The Harbour View boys wanted the offside flag to be raised, but the assistant didn't oblige on that near side. Came through comfortably in the end for Amal Knight.
Good build up by Portmore yet again. Demar Rose right in the thick of things in terms of the creativity, but again that final ball from the flank area just not good enough from Mitchell. Enterprising play though.
Harbour View have a problem because there's not much movement when the men in the back are trying to play out. And so they have to be keeping it in the defensive third a lot longer than they'd have wanted. Staple, can he keep it in? Yes, he does, but gets hammered by Shea Smith, who checks in with him. Good sportsmanship there, but it's still a Harbour View free kick. Stewart says the ball is soft, so he needs a replacement, and gets one now. This is the play. That's the free kick. That's the cause for the free kick. Anyway, Scott chasing this one down. Bigger body than Burton and bullies him out of the way. Nice back heel to Staple. Can he find the cross? Back to Stewart. Shepherd now. Harbour View keeping their momentum going. Priestley. Ziminis. And now Staple. Bad pass to Shepherd. Cut out by Demar Rose. Cunningham inside to Javik McFarlane. Has Shea Smith to his left. And now the pass to Smith comes. Stewart hunting him down and it's too long. Smith realized after the first bounce that he wasn't going to catch it. Staple seems to have a problem with the right foot. Just saw him checking it again. They're trying to pick Scott out with this pass. And it skips away off the turf. Watkett in the back for Portmore. The wind just dislodging one of the foundation poles of our commentary position covering. I hope we'll be here in a few minutes to continue with the commentary. That's a message to my producer. This is Shepherd. Dyer under pressure finds Stewart. Midfield to Shepherd. Priestley. Back to Stewart. possession stats will show that Harbourview have bossed the possession. They've really controlled the game. It was a lovely touch by Staple once again to take this one down, and he fires the cross in. It's met by Shavoy Watkin, who turns it outside for a throw. But we've seen Dyer connect out of the central defensive sector to O'Shane Staple on the overlap with good frequency from a Harbourview perspective, alarming frequency from a Portmore perspective. Stuart spears this cross in. It's met by Stephen Young. Rivaldo Mitchell takes. And there's a urgent call by the referee for the medics for Harbourview to enter the fray, enter the field. Looks like Zimenez has a problem.
Head collision. Challenge for the ball. And came off second best, Zimenez. Both himself and Reid have switched flanks for now. Reid playing from the right. There he is, Trayvon Reid. Yeah, Zimenez just picking up a blow. Here you see it. It's actually the arm of Stephen Young. If you notice, Portmore have switched centre-backs as well. Stephen Young, because of the constant overlapping runs of Staple, he's been switched to the right-hand side instead of the left as a centre-back, Stephen Young. So he's right of the three. And the St. Lucian has been moved to the left.
So Myers to deal with the Staple threat.
Yeah. Maybe a bit more experienced, a little bit more robust in his challenge.
So we're into the 20th minute of this contest. Lenny Hyde up off the bench, doing some reorganization with his team, as highlighted seconds ago by Chris. Dyer with it in the back for Portmore, for Harbourview once again. Looks for the long pass, decided against it. Went across to Mullins. Forward to Staples, robbed by Cunningham. Cunningham on the overlap, gets it from Rivaldo Mitchell. Cunningham has the legs, barely keeps it in. No, he didn't. And he's frustrated that after so much effort, he just couldn't drag it inside the line.
Again, a little bit too much weight on those passes along the line. With this wind and the trajectory of the ground, it's just too much. Here you see it here, it's a simple pass, but it's just overhit yet again. So many of those. That's about the third this afternoon from the same position.
Shaheen Rose lost that, played with it until he lost it. Scott into the path of Trayvon Reid, was pulled to his right hand side. Watkin goes to tackle. Reid to Shepherd. Good first touch into Scott. Scott with the shot, blocked by Benjamin Williams. No flag. So it would have been a good goal had it gone in. But the collision between Scott and the goalkeeper Benjamin Williams has seen the ref call for the medics from both teams.
Lovely build-up play. Trayvon Reid on the right, finally pulling wide to draw space. And that was a lovely one-time touch into the path of Scott. Here is Reid with that cross-field pass. It was excellent. And that one-touch pass, beautifully weighted. And I'd have to say brave goalkeeping.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't a bad finish by Scott, but Williams made himself very big, and a vital block. Simple but nice build-up by Harbourview.
Yes, it was. So may have even collided with his own defender. Scott was there. There was a Portmore man sliding in as well. Whatever it is, Williams is feeling pain and is still down and looking as if he's hurting, as the referee sends the players for a drinks break in this moment. So what are the things that you like about what Harbourview has done so far?
Well, before I get to that, there we see that opportunity, and maybe does need a little bit more elevation, but I think more credit to Williams in terms of his goalkeeping, just lessening the time that Scott would have had. I do like when they pull wide, George, to create space. I like the overlapping runs of Staple, but since he got that knock about 5 to 10 minutes ago, we haven't seen any more of those overlapping runs from him. And Staple certainly a big energy giver to this Harbourview team. But I find that they're a little bit static up front. You mentioned it a little bit earlier as well. Some of the times, making things easy for Portmore, they're just 4 men along one straight line: Trayvon Reed, Zimenez, Scott, and Shepherd. And I think the movement needs to improve a little bit more. We saw that on that play with Trayvon Reed pulling wide, carrying Watkins out of position, and then the crossfield pass, which created a hole in the defense line. So they need to do a little bit more of that, Harbourview. And if they do, they'll probably be more successful, because it's a defense line from Portmore that are just getting things together. It's a young back line just learning, and the chemistry not quite where they would want it yet.
Yep, good job that Lenny Hyde has so much experience, because he's going to be needing every ounce of that to help these boys to get to grips with what is required to be a good team at this level. Stephen Young, actually the man who crashed into Benjamin Williams, so the defender hurting his own goalkeeper. Happy to report that Benjamin Williams is back on his feet, bouncing inside his 6-yard area. He's fine. Drop balls restart by referee Nemhard. Staple now gets us back underway. Shepherd. And now Priestley in midfield. Shepherd goes long once again. Young met that header before Zimenez could. Priestley pushed out of the way, illegally so, says referee Nemhard. Javik McFarlane, the offending party. Sun back out in all its glory here. The period of cloud cover and cool breeze that we were enjoying gone. Wind stronger than we had it at kickoff, and the sun raging once again. Stewart back to Reed. And Dyer demanded it and got it from Stewart.
Had good manners as well.
Yes, sir. Priestley. Mullins. So however, it's not that they're being patient, they're being forced to keep it in the back and play it around, because there's nothing much up front for them. The line that Portmore are holding, very good line. And so the pass is up front short. They're looking to knock it about and then go over the top with this long pass to Staple, which they've done and used so well this afternoon, but this time he couldn't get around Cunningham and that right foot, which has been causing him some problems for the past few minutes. Again, the bother here. And I picked up that first knock in a challenge with Shea Smith. May have taken some studs from Smith and still being bothered by it, Staple.
Wins a free kick. Yeah, there's a touch on the leg. Pretty good control as well by Staple. I like his energy on the right flank, and if you notice, he comes right towards the line to give the full width. And been guilty so far in this half, especially on the left-hand side of this being too narrow, Harbourview. So
Reed's free kick to the back of guard, Stewart, and handball call. The referee says no penalty, but he says corner.
Good free kick by Trayvon Reed, looking for the tallest man on the park, easily. Stewart, and there was no doubt as to whether he was going to win the header. Probably would have been saved had it been on target.
Yeah, good pressure from Young. He was right there, so the header didn't even travel far off Stewart's head. Shepherd, short corner to Reed. What does he do from here, Trayvon Reed? Dribbles by Myers off the left foot, blocked. DeMar Rose goes long. Can he find Rivaldo Mitchell? Did find him. He ran out of room.
A good pressure by Young. Young obviously enjoying the right hand side a little bit more. Trayvon Reed, a different kind of customer to Staple.
Yeah. Reed gets the cross away. Williams going Staple. After it later flash, but Cunningham was there to shield. Chested it back to his goalkeeper. Good defending. Williams taking his time over getting us restarted. Smith brushes off the challenge of Stewart. Rose. Oh, it was a poor pass by Rose. Straight to Dyer. reading the midfield for Harbourview. Shepherd over the top. Can Scott get there? Under pressure from Myers, and Watkin helps his skipper out. Rose, calm. Myers once again. Harbourview with 60% possession. That measures time with the ball, and they've had a lot of time with it because when they have it in defense, they take a year to get it up the field. So yeah, leading the possession race, still 0-0. Most crucially, this is Rose for Portmore. Burton has switched flanks, he's gone to the right side, started on the left. This is Rose once again, Jaheen. Young. Coming the other side, Portmore, with Myers. DeMar Rose now. Mitchell. Cunningham was played behind him. Shea Smith gets there, wins the ball. And it's over the top for Saniki Burton. Good first touch, Burton with the shot! And it misses the near post.
Bad miss by Burton. Scott to score that. Great move yet again by DeMar Rose. And how they missed him, Portmore. Look at that in terms of precision. Beautiful chip pass just over the head of the Harbourview defence line. And Burton rushed the shot a bit, should have showed more composure and allowed the ball to come down nicely onto the left foot.
Good first touch from Burton, but the second one for the shot, that was what was required. Shepherd connecting with Smith, with Scott for Harbourview. Giving away to Jaheen Rose, forward to Shea Smith, needs some help, comes inside. McFarlane to Burton, wide to Mitchell. Mitchell, left-footed cross, and it evades Shea Smith.
Better from Mitchell, better. At least this time he got it into the box a little bit too deep. Maybe Shea Smith guilty of coming in a little bit too much. And they needed the back post option. McFarlane was already in the center position, so Smith could have hung a bit, but better from Mitchell. Certainly like how Portmore build up in terms of their attack, much better than Harbourview. There's a lot more movement, but then again they do have that added creative player in DeMar Rose who knows how to pick the passes. Harbourview forced to be a little bit more direct, not as much mobility, and hence, as you said, possession in their own half.
Shepherd forward, looking to play Staple in. Benjamin Williams there again. Good reading of the situation from the goalkeeper. He needed to have been there because although his defenders were there, Staple was still exerting enough pressure to perhaps nick it. Benjamin Williams' throws have been very impressive, and acting with the wind in his back as well, helping his cause. Shea Smith switches the point of this Portmore attack to Rivaldo Mitchell into the path of Saniki Burton. What can he do? Flips it into the box for Shea Smith at the back post, and Garth Stewart was covering, and he needed to have been there covering. Shea Smith was just sneaking up behind him, but Stewart had the presence of mind to engage, and this is the ball. Look at Stewart, he has eyes for the ball, and then he realizes that the blue shirt is on the premises.
That could have been a penalty. I am wondering. There's no appeal. Stewart didn't play the ball at all. Stewart took out Smith. Maybe the thought was that Smith did get the kick, did get the shot, but it was a poor challenge by Stewart. Well, no questions asked. A bit of a surprise to me.
Well, we may want to call him lucky.
No, very lucky.
Priestley out to Stewart. To move his team up the pitch out. Just took a nick off the wrong foot. Kicked it to the... So
here's the ball by Burton. And it comes... Yeah, there's no challenge. There's no contact with the ball from Stewart. He takes out the man. I've seen much less than that given overseas. No appeals from Smith or anybody on the Portmore, in the Portmore fraternity, but I think Stewart is quite lucky. Good ball by Burton though, and Smith might be disappointed that he didn't do better. He was probably put off by the fact that he saw Stewart coming to him so quickly.
Yeah, very likely the case. Burton works it onto the right foot for the cross. Was snuffed out by Otherland Harding and clean up. This is Zimenez getting around Chevoy Watkin, trying to play into the path of Trayvon Reed, but the pass wasn't good enough. Under pressure he was. High boot there, so the referee, well, it was a throw actually, went out. And Zimenez now on the move. Back to Shepherd. Staple has pulled into his usual position wide, looking for the pass. Doesn't come to him yet though. This is Dyer now, who may play that pass. Stewart. Mullings. Still hasn't seen a pass he wants. He goes back to his captain Harding. Forward to Tevin Scott. Javine Rose breaks it up. Comes to DeMar Rose. What can he do, DeMar Rose? He needs some help. Shea Smith gives him the overlapping run and gets the pass. Smith bursting into the box. Shea Smith hunted down by multiple Harbourview defenders, and a raised arm to protect himself, but that arm ended up striking Kasim Priestley high.
Good recovery by Harbourview. Good overlapping run by Smith. Rose was waiting on him forever and showed good pace, but to credit for Harbourview for getting back in numbers. Staple did well to make it difficult, and yeah, then the arm in the face of Priestley. I guess he didn't want to take another blow.
Yep.
Smith. You do remember the one that he got a few moments ago from Stewart. So again, Portmore looking much more dangerous of the two teams.
No, this is troubling. This is troubling. He hasn't moved since he went down, Kasim Priestley. It didn't look that dangerous. It looked a little bit, well, not innocuous, but it didn't look this serious, and he may have lost consciousness. Wow, this is troubling. They're trying to open the ear passage for the young man. Putting him on his side. I think he was asleep for a minute there, for a moment there, young Kasim Priestley. As we look to the Portmore United bench, Kevin Dare, former National League champion and leading goal scorer, in conference with mostly his defenders. Well, yeah, those the men responsible for defending being given a lecture by their assistant coach. Good to report that Kasim Priestley is wide awake. Let's see what happens. It didn't look that serious, Chris, for him to... So he goes down now. And for the moment, his feet followed the rest of his body. Looks as if he took a little snooze.
It looked like just a hand to the nose initially, but as you said, did more damage than we thought. Of course, he's going in one direction and the arm is pushing in the other, so the physics of it all, not a good sign for Priestley, but as you said, understandably looks a bit groggy.
He's back to his feet as we see Ludlow Bernard talking to Zimenez and Scott, two of his attackers. So the Portmore conference between the coach was with the assistant coach was with the defenders, and Bernard talking to his attackers. So concussion protocol in full effect. That's what we're seeing now. I doubt he'll be able to continue, but he says he's okay. He saw the nod there. You know, all right. Again, I could read that from here. All right, man. All right, man. I mean, I don't need to translate that for anybody in this part of the world, do I? Anyway, we're back to play. Priestley still going through the protocols behind his teams, the goal his team is defending. Staple. Harbourview down to 10.
Bit surprised as well that I haven't seen any Harbourview players warming up in the meantime, just in case. I guess the bench thinks that it's just a regular challenge, but and I guess so did we.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I would think you'd have a couple of players warming, just in case the news coming from the doctors isn't positive. He's now jogging though, far side Priestley.
Keen to get back on the pitch, and he's running to the half line now to ask the fourth official to tell the referee that he's ready once again. Meanwhile, Young chases it, keeps it in rather ungainly. He did the job, and Burton back to Young once again.
And credit to Teagat Davis and the coaching staff for making that defensive change early, not in terms of changing personnel, but just in moving around the defense line. It has worked a lot better with Young on the right instead of the left.
Yeah.
And
Teagat, you're thinking about an outstanding former footballer, Lenny Hyde.
Oh, I said Teagat. My apologies.
No problem. We all know who you're talking. We know you were talking.
Yeah, the teacher.
Yeah. Spot on with that. Spot on with that. Priestley's back with us, so Harbourview back to full complement. Here's Scott, under pressure from Rose, and goes down, buys the free kick, taken quickly to Trayvon Reed. Priestley with his first touch since that incident. Again, Harbourview just look as if they pass the ball among the defenders and then, okay, what are we going to do with it now? Then it's to go long, and they've gone long to Zimenez. Williams comes forward, but he's offside anyway. Wouldn't have mattered had he gotten there first.
Well, the front three, there's not much movement, so they're forced to, as you said, eventually push from the defense and then play that long ball. The channel is just not happening for them at the moment. No diagonal runs, and I think that's what Ludlow Bernard was saying to Zimenez and Scott, that look, I need more movement from you. Even if you're not getting the ball, give me the movement. It will create space for someone else.
Yep.
And their best opportunity came from something like that, with Trayvon Reed running the diagonal lines, pulling the defense out of position, and then a one-touch pass from Shepherd, and Scott was in business.
Harbourview bench unhappy with that call. They felt, well, they've gotten the free kick, so what was all that fuss about? Or maybe the fuss is what eventually caused the referee to be sympathetic to them.
Well, assistant coach Donald Stewart, you remember anything about him in terms of his aggression as a defender, so he doesn't like to see those soft calls, Donald Stewart. But Ludlow Bernard was more interested in the fact that Zimenez was out of position in the attacking third. Yep. And I think he has and I agree with him totally, that the front three, there's just not enough movement, and that's why they're not creating the opportunities. So different to how Portmore attack.
Some frustration within the Harbourview ranks though, because Priestley just passed the ball cross field and felt Stewart should have been in position to get it. Stewart was saying, well, it was too long anyway, and they were having an almighty row, and then Amal Knight's voice just put everything else in the shade, and with a bellow of calm, calm, and immediately those two men stopped quarreling. So the seniority by Amal Knight being exerted, that's partly why he's here, and just keeping the emotions in check. Dispute over where this throw to should be taken from, or the quality of the ball. Yeah, this was the ball that was replaced earlier because Stewart had said it was soft. And the referee just checking a few, and I think they've found one that we can resume with. Yes, they have. Referee says he'll have to restart the game with a drop ball. Back we are. McFarlane under pressure. And DeMar Rose. Smart pass to Shea Smith. What can he do? Find Cunningham. Cunningham goes back to Stephen Young. Not quite sure that was the best option, but they still have possession, Portmore, which is crucial. And now Saniki Burton. outside to Rivaldo Mitchell. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Can he find the cross? Wasn't what was required. It was a daisy cutter. It needed to have elevation. Meanwhile, Zimenez on the hunt. Watkin over there. Easy ball for Watkin and Young. This long pass. It's flicked on by Dyer. Didn't get a call from Stewart. And that's what he's saying to Garth Stewart. You should have called me. I didn't know you were behind me. You could have dealt with that better than I did. It's a Portmore throw.
And it's not the first time that Stewart has been guilty of that. Just wondering if he's a little bit tired and the concentration wavering.
Alvinus Myers now with this cross. Priestley meets it with a firm clearance. Stephen Young off Zimenez. Can Zimenez get there? Trayvon Reed on the overlap, and Trayvon Reed is now in business. Only one man to find out, that Shepherd. Still Trayvon Reed. Dribbles by Rose. Still Trayvon Reed driving into the box. Needs some help. And he goes down. The referee says penalty. Referee Nemhard says penalty. Trayvon Reed working on Jaheen Rose. Rose had made up the ground and was engaging Reed, preventing him from going goalwards. Then Reed turned, squared him up, decided to continue the dribble. This is it. Look how early Rose engages. Good defending up to here. Good up to here. And then look at what he does from here.
Yeah, why would he go with the left leg? Trayvon Reed moving away from goal. Excellent work by the schoolboy Jaheen Rose, the Clarendon man. But then, as you said, a rash left foot. You've done the hard work. You want Trayvon Reed to turn away from goal with his back to goal, and just needed to zone the area. And instead, a wild left foot, and well, Reed accepted it.
Yep. So this is Trayvon Reed. Thought his momentum in the season was affected by having to sit out that Tivoli game because of the loan arrangement. So
coming off a brace before.
Yeah, so that momentum check wasn't good for him. Anyway, he has a chance to put his name on the score sheet once again versus Benjamin Williams. This for 1-0 to Harbourview. Trayvon Reed, the Paul Pogba run-up, taking forever. Bursts and he scores to the goalkeeper's right. Trayvon Reed beats Benjamin Williams. It's 1-0 to Harbourview in the 45th minute.
Third of the season for Trayvon Reed. Good overlapping run initially. Himself and Zimenez on that left side. And had a lot of work to do. Trayvon Reed did it well, and also did that well into the into the corner of the goal to the right of Williams. He's disappointed that he couldn't get a hand to it, but it was a well taken penalty by Reed, and he adds his third of the season.
Opened with a brace against Mullines United, and hasn't found the score sheet, hasn't found the back of the net since, hasn't had his name on the score sheet since. Has it today, one so far for Trayvon Reed. Young Jaheen Rose did the hard part very, very well, and then had a rush of blood after. Had a little nibble in the tackle when he really ought to have just stood where he was, continued to shield. As you said, Chris, to zone, that's the word to use. Didn't zone and gave away a penalty.
And Portmore will be very disappointed with that. They have looked so good going forward. They have looked much more dangerous of the two teams. And Harbourview have really had nothing. Nothing. Their movement hasn't been good. And yeah.
Cunningham's touch, ooh, was a loose touch and then was hammered by O'Shane Staple flying in. And the referee Nemhard produces the first yellow card of the game.
Some of these challenges, George, I just wonder about it. Maybe I need to ask a question to the coaching staff. If technical training goes into some of these, into how to challenge, how to tackle. I mean, another wild one by Staple and rightfully booked.
Cunningham back on his feet. The wind is behind the Portmore boys, so the wind will help the ball on its way to Amal Knight's goal, given the direction it's blowing. And let's see if Rose, Burton and Cunningham can conspire over a quality delivery that can ask a question of the Harbourview goalkeeper, who's 28 yards away on his goal line from where this ball is spotted. Cunningham looks as if he'll take it. He was fouled by Staple. Let's see what he can do.
It's a little bit far for Rose, I think, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is Cunningham.
Cunningham comes with the shot over the top. Amal Knight was interested. May have gotten a touch. That's what the referee is saying. Yes, he did get a touch, Amal Knight, helping it on its way over the bar.
Not a bad attempt by Cunningham, a little bit too central, I think. So Knight would have had that covered in any case, had it been a bit lower. I think it probably was going over anyhow, but Knight just wanting to make sure.
This is DeAndre Cunningham. 6 blue shirts in the box. Back post. Too long. There was a poor kick from the youngster.
Well, Portmore's defensive woes continue, George. 9 goals now conceded in a season. They have the 4th worst defensive record of the 12 teams. And as you said, you can attack all you want, but you need to not make so many mistakes at the back, and that's what they've been guilty of. So yeah, enterprising play up front, not necessarily getting the goals as they have struggled to score, but yet conceding.
Scott trying to break through Stephen Young's challenge, but was kicked as Young tried to clear that ball. And the referee go to his pocket. I saw him with that motion just now, and he wants to have a word with Stephen Young. Yes, he's calling Young now, and he's having a lecture. He'll escape the card, but he gets told off. So he was trying to clear, and Scott burst through and was kicked.
Yeah, I think he realizes that Young was actually trying to clear the ball and not really take out Scott. Scott was a little bit quicker.
Priestley with this free kick. Reed comes short, maybe wanting a piece of it, but Priestley goes long into the box. It's flicked on by Alvinus Myers. And that's the last action of the first half. So Portmore United looked good attacking in parts of the first half, but they couldn't find the breakthrough. Harbour View through Trayvon Reed won the penalty, then got up and slotted home from 12 yards, beating goalkeeper Benjamin Williams. It's Harbour View 1 through Trayvon Reed's 45th minute penalty. Portmore United 0. It's the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel. Half-time in this match week 6 encounter between Harbour and Portmore United. Harbour leading 1-0 courtesy of Trayvon Reed's penalty. Reed had a chance in the first half. We're going to look back at those first half highlights now. And we're going to see how Benjamin Williams got fingertips to his shot, turned it onto the post, or pushed it onto the post. And early in the game, Harbour could have had the opening, the rainbow there, the mirage from the sprinkler and the interaction with the camera. And this is the long pass from Dyer out the back. Zimenez, not sure what he wanted to do at all. Wanted to dress it for the right-footed strike. In the end, Williams, right on the doorstep, got the foot in and then collected. And then look at this from Stephen Young at the back. Plays it across his 18-yard box to Watkin, and then Reed running onto it quickly. And it required a very sharp save from Benjamin Williams to his right. Look at it once again. That angle showing you that the goalkeeper did get there. Then Staple, lovely first touch. Williams on the premises once again to block. And then Saniki Burton on the goal line, almost, is where he blocked that one from. Staples' follow-up effort. So Harbour having two good early chances. Reed freed down the right-hand side once again. Watch what he'll do. There'll be two more passes exchanged after this. This is the first pass. Second pass to Scott. Scott shoots, but Williams brave. In with the feet. Got kicked by his defender Stephen Young for his troubles, but he did his job, the goalkeeper, to prevent Tevin Scott from blasting into the net. And then DeMar Rose measured this one perfectly. Beats Harding. First touch by Rivaldo Mitchell. Saniki Burton was good, but the second touch wasn't so good. And then look at Burton once again. Stands this up. And look at Chase Smith. Garth Stewart didn't get any ball. The question was asked by Chris Taylor on co-commentary whether or not this shouldn't have been a penalty, as Stewart didn't get any ball, but the referee didn't make a call. But he did make a call here, Nemhard, because after running back and preventing Trayvon Reed from attacking his goal, young Jaheen Rose put a foot in, and Reed went down, then got up to beat goalkeeper Benjamin Williams from 12 yards in the 45th minute. And that was how Harbour established their half-time lead. The numbers from the first half, there were 7 shots on target, 6 of them for Harbour, 11 fouls, 6 committed by Portmore. There were 4 corners in it, 3 of them for Harbour, and Harbour controlled the ball for 54% of the time in that first half. Let's recap the action from Sunday in the JPL, powered by Digicel.
Referee Stephen Duar sends them on their way. Shamari Dallas with his first touch here, not as good as it needed to be, but finds Kareem Brand in the middle, and Brand just hurries the shot and steers it wide. Brand would recover. Oh, look how easily he gets by Wilson and tries the left-footed strike to the near post, but Kimar Foster is brilliant in goal for Waterhouse. Here comes Benbow now. Benbow has a lot of room here on the right side. Space opening up for him, so he goes for the near post strike. But goalkeeper Taylor just tips that one over. One of the best moments of the match for the Waterhouse team. Fierce strike there on goal, but there's the Vancy strike. Clearing the wall, expertly done. Goalkeeper Foster can't get to it. And Andrew Vance's strike, second goal of the season, puts Humberland in front here. But they wouldn't hold it because this fine header, injuring himself in the process, Keith Simpson, draws Waterhouse level. And Waterhouse preventing themselves from going down to defeat for the second week in a row. The 31-year-old Keith Simpson scores his first goal since the 2019-2020 season.
The introduction of another senior man, Andre Clennon, what did that add to the attack going forward?
Well, Andre have carrying an injury, an ankle injury, so he have to come off the bench, and he come and put in a good shift today, and he won a free kick and just kick in the back of the net.
All right, good performance today, Captain. We know you wanted the 3 points, but condolences.
Okay, thank you.
I'm happy. I'm not displeased. I mean, that's the game, man. You know, when you're on top of the table, the team behind will come. I mean, 2 times was hard, but I mean, kudos to my team. It's the first game, but we go a goal down and we get back a goal. You know, unfortunately we couldn't get a go-ahead goal today. But nevertheless, I think Umberland played well and that forced us today to only get a point today.
Yes, a little bit upset about that. You know, we have to concentrate for 90 minutes. I said it before the game and I'll continue saying it. A game is 90 plus minutes and you need to concentrate for 90 plus minutes. And you know, we gave up a set play to Waterhouse when we had the advantage at the time. I mean, you have to be strong and committed in the box and challenge for that ball. And I was really disappointed in the way they scored the goal. I think the team played extremely well today. They really moved the ball around, saw a lot of energy. And week in, week out, we are improving. But we just need to finish games and get 3 points. I told them at the water break, if the game was to finish now, we'd be leading the game. Let us finish the game in the same manner. And then inextricably, we gave up a goal right after the water break.
And this is how the 90-minute fixture panned out. Malines with Trevante Stewart here being robbed of the ball. And an effort there by Wilson, it is, I think, just striking that one wide. And here comes Alan Otti with his first goal. Mount Pleasant's first goal. Delightful pass by Daniel Green. Just sets the ball behind Damian Thomas, the number 17 defender for Malines. Has no chance of stopping Alan Otti as he strikes his second goal of the season and puts Mount Pleasant in front by 1-0. Otti turns provider here, sliding the ball inside, and Devontae Campbell, first goal of the season, just side foots this one in. Third Premier League goal for his young career, the 18-year-old, as Mount Pleasant took charge of this fixture pretty early. Peter Harrison has no chance in goal for Malines to stop this one. And look at this build-up here now. Excellent work here from Devontae Campbell. Sprints away down the right side, slides the ball inside here to Alan Otti, who back heels to Ricardo Morris. And what an accurate left-footed strike that was. Yeah, one of the sweetest looking goals of the season so far. Yeah, that clinical and exemplifies why they call football the beautiful game. And how happy is Ricardo Morris. His second goal of the season. Tyrese. Trevante Stewart there. Finding the net for the second time this season. Just out-muscles Kevin Lane for the ball and directs a firm right-footed shot past Ackle Clark in the goal. Daniel Green from the penalty spot after Ricardo Morris had won a penalty sends Mount Pleasant 4-1 up in the fixture. Daniel Green's fifth goal of the season.
A goal and 2 assists. How does it feel to be back in the starting lineup?
Well, it's a great feeling back in the starting lineup because I was out for a couple of matches and I was injured, so it's a great feeling to be back in the starting level.
Garnet, yeah, great performance last week, not so much this week, especially in terms of the potency going forward.
Yeah, this happened to a team like us when we play two teams with a lot of firepower. On the field, on the bench, they are very strong. So this is just a learning lesson. We just have to know that these two teams that we just played are very, very good, and they have to look into themselves.
Wally, proud of the performance?
Yeah, very pleased with the performance. You can see by the way they finished the game that Malines came to win, and they put up a strong fight both halves.
Yeah, we're always better together as human beings, you know. Digicel powering the Jamaica Premier League. And in the first half of this contest between Harbourview and Portmore United, we saw 1 goal, which means we'll start the second half with Harbourview 1-0 in front in this match week 6 contest in the top flight football competition in Jamaica. There's Saniki Burton for Portmore United. Had a chance in the first half, but fluffed his shot after beautiful ball control, being found brilliantly by DeMar Rose with an inch-perfect pass over the head of the Harbourview defender, Orland Harding. But Portmore had their chances. There I was talking about Lenny Hyde earlier in the game, the best CV of any local coach. And I'll say that without fear of contradiction. Schoolboy titles, national titles, won the Premier League in 2007 with Harbourview. Won it also with Tivoli Gardens and then won it with Portmore United. Won titles as a schoolboy and won the Major League and the Premier League playing as a left winger for Boys Town. Football in his blood, his children multi-talented as well, Lenny Hyde. Outstanding footballers, and then the outstanding track and field athlete, Jaheel Hyde. He even has a son, Julian, who's into the field of equestrian. So yeah, the Hyde blood, very, very, very rich and textured. Here's the St. Lucian though, Javik McFarlane, 25 years old. One of 2 St. Lucians in this Portmore United team, the other being Alvinus Mars, the captain, who's playing in defense, playing on the left side of the Portmore United defense. Referee Nemhart synchronizing his watch, and he gets to go ahead from our floor team that we're ready for the second half in this game. And Chris, halftime you had cause to wonder again, you know, just why. What would Mr. Nemhard explain as to be the reason for him not awarding Shea Smith a penalty when he was taken out by Garth Stewart? And we agreed that maybe it was because Smith got the shot off eventually. Which seems like a rather strange reason to not give, not blow for an infringement.
Yeah. I know the take might be from the referee that, you know, it was a fair challenge in that he didn't really see anything in terms of a foul. Yes, he didn't play the ball, but more of a body-to-body. I'm not so sure about that. And as I said, yeah, sometimes when you actually do get off the shot, things don't go in your favor. Had he missed the shot, or had he not made contact with the ball, and you never know.
So there's Evaldo Mitchell. Had some okay moments in that first half. Portmore find themselves down in a game where they looked slick attacking. Rose, bad from the young man once again, hesitated and the ball came off his arm. Zimenez took the free kick quickly but wasted the opportunity for Harbourview. McFarlane in the middle, under pressure from Scott. Goes to his countryman Alvinus Mars, who goes on the raid. Out of the boot to Cunningham. Staple got back the one who robbed him. Amal Knight under pressure from McFarlane. Stewart under pressure as well. Good closing down, good pressure from Portmore. It's only a throw, but they ensure that Harbourview didn't get it out the back easily.
Well, Mitchell has now switched. He's moved back to the left-hand side.
Zimenez running into open space. Sends Shepherd going. Watkin quicker. And gets across and gets there. Oh, it gives it away though, Chevoy Watkin. And luckily Stephen Young was on point with the header. And the second header clears it. Allows the defense to reset.
I like how Stephen Young has gotten his head back into the game. That's Watkin. But yeah, young 20-year-old Young who we spoke to at the start of the game. Actually comes from Brownstown in St. Anne. Actually comes out of Dwight
Holland
Jeremiah's,
United. Yeah, I was going to tell you that early first half.
Yeah, Holland United.
Stewart over the top looking for Staple. That burst once again, but the pass was too long.
Going forward, I don't think Portmore needed to change much at all because they certainly looked enterprising in the first half. They were getting the opportunities, the movement was good, the use of the width of the field was good. Obviously, there's always improvement in terms of the finishing. But yeah, I think they would have been pretty happy going forward. It would be just such a disappointment that they gave away a goal like that against the run of play.
Head injury to Cunningham. Stewart also took a knock there because it was he's trying to clear. Cunningham was trying to flick forward, and the collision, the clash of heads, causes Neymar to call a halt to proceedings. This is the replay. Look at Stewart. Bang into the head of Cunningham.
And Stewart took his eyes off of everything as well, so he didn't know what was happening. Going in and not looking at what's happening.
Yep.
Not the best idea.
Still down Garth Stewart. Cunningham back on his feet. Let's hope Garth Stewart is fine.
Yeah, well, it was.
Oh, they're putting him on his side. This doesn't look good. And it may be a case, as we saw with Kasim Priestley, that, and putting it euphemistically, folks, that Garth Stewart has.
He's concussed.
Yeah, I was going to say he's having a snooze, but his legs are moving now, so yeah, he'll be fine. Just moved his legs just now. Yeah, he's fine.
No surprise that Cunningham came off the better of the two. It was the back of his head, and he actually accelerated the movement. So, yeah.
Concussion protocol. They're asking him to count.
Look at Cunningham here. Going back, and then he actually jerks his head backwards to play on the ball. And so he got the full brunt of it, did Stewart. Also in the softer area of the face.
Yeah. So the tall man hasn't completed a game for Harbourview in this competition so far. Has been substituted in all. Hasn't played in every game. Has missed out. But when he starts, he usually doesn't finish the games. He's hoping that he'll put in a quality performance this afternoon that will call Ludlow Bernard to leave him for the entirety of the match. Portmore restart. Harbourview down to 10. This is Young to Burton. Rose out to Young. Just trying to clip it inside. That wasn't what was required, and the clip was poorly executed. Stewart back with us, so Harbourview back to full complement. Amal Knight goes long. Watkin, firm header to meet it and won the second ball. Shea Smith back to him. Rose. Wrong pass by the youngster, and Scott bowled over and pushed over by Jaheen Rose. A very strong young man, Jaheen Rose. Broad shoulders, tremendous upper body strength. Look at him, the shoulder barge.
Certainly a foul looking to come across. Scott, it's a poor challenge. Needs a little bit more finesse. Rose has already given away a penalty.
Yep. Trayvon Reed signaling what he's going to do with this free kick. Suspect Priestley will take it. It's on the left. But it's actually, yeah, Priestley. Aiming for one of 5 blue shirts. It's the trick. And it goes to the back post, the 2-card trick. And it was actually Trayvon Reed who eventually sent it in, but too long.
2 KC old boys, Kasim Priestley and Trayvon Reed. They know each other very well. In fact, I'm sure there was a point where Priestley was his captain.
Ziminis was having his shirt tugged by Young. And Young strong, and he goes down, fouled by Ziminis in the end.
Very quick, Ziminis, and Young did well. Can go left and right, Tariq Ziminis. Very direct player, and yeah, that was good defending by Young. Grown into the game very well, Stephen Young.
Reed felt he didn't do anything wrong in winning the ball from Burton. Referee saw things differently. So Tivoli team already here for the second game of the doubleheader. Second and final, well, the final game of match week 6 comes up after this. The Tivoli here already, and the Dunbar Holding boys getting changed in the tent on the other side of the park. Shea Smith into the path of Harding. Knocks it out for a throw. Harbourview won their first Premier League title in the year 2000, and they've been ultra dominant in the top flight. They're the greatest period of success in their history, being registered since the year 2000. Lovely by DeMar Rose, stepping away from Trayvon Reed. The other Rose back to Watkin, who goes across to the captain, Miles. Stewart knocked that ball away. They've won 2 Caribbean Football Union Club Championships, Harbourview, 2004 and 2007. JFF Champions Cup winners in 2001 and 2002. And they won the Jackie Bell Knockout title, CASAFA, 2001, 2006, 2007, 2011 and 2013. And won the Premier League title 2000, 2007, 2010, 2013. Along with finishing second 4 times. Wow. Hard tackle, you call that. Priestley trying to play a read, but Stephen Young gets there. Shea Smith thwarted by Shepherd, and now Ziminis bursts into open space, leaves 2 Portmore men for dead. Ziminis driving at Watkin, and Watkin expertly comes across to Shield. Does he keep it in? He runs it into touch. It's a corner. Runs it behind. Rather, it's a corner to Harbourview.
Another direct run by Ziminis. Can't say he really had a plan though, and that's something he'll need to think about. Can't just run into the open space and not know what you're going to do with the ball. Yeah, there was no real aim to his run, and he was easily closed out in the end. You get away with that a lot more at the schoolboy level, where defenders aren't as experienced, and the level of understanding in terms of coverage defensively. But yeah,
Benjamin Williams, the Portmore goalkeeper, has a problem. Down once again, as he was in the first half, but at least in the first half he was kicked by his teammate Stephen Young in saving a shot from Tevin Scott. The referee signaling a change. Well, the referee can't signal a change. He must be signaling to his 4th official. But yeah, just so I make the universal roly signal with his hands. Meanwhile, Williams gets treatment. So we're in the 57th minute of this clash between Harbourview and Portmore United. Portmore looked good in patches in the first half, but then Jaheen Rose gave away the penalty from which Trayvon Reed scored. And this man has had a good game. I was just about to say that, my producer telling me that in my ear, that he has a package of work from Benjamin Williams. This was him thwarting Ziminis. And then after the harebrained moment from Stephen Young, he saved Trayvon Reed's effort. Good save, then saved from O'Shane Staple. And then got hurt right here when he was kicked by Young, who was trying to help him. And
he's had a pretty good game by all means. Williams, yes, he's been beaten from the spot, but apart from that, in open play, he's been excellent.
The referee has just signaled for the stretcher, so the referee believes that there needs to be something done here. And the bad news of Portmore is they don't have a reserve goalkeeper, a specialist on the bench. This is very, very odd, because the only time the goalkeeper leaves on a stretcher on a field is when he's not coming back. He's the only outfield player who, no matter how long it takes, he'll get his treatment on the field. Well, he's the only player. The outfield players have to come off and get treatment. The game continues. For obvious reasons, that can't happen with the goalkeeper. The stretcher has been sent for, and Portmore's problems are mounting. They're going to have to deputize an outfield player if Benjamin Williams can't continue. The gloves being passed to Alvinus Myers. Let's see what he does with them. The captain walking with the gloves to the sidelines, because Williams seems to have a serious problem.
Wow.
Yep, there's a man getting stripped. I'm going to tell you who it is. The man wearing number 12, Chris, for Portmore United. That's Gawain Austin, a centre half by trade. They've taken the gloves and they've given them to him. So Gawain Austin looks rather reluctant with the gloves in hand, and they're having a discussion over there. Lenora Teacher High talking to him. Yeah, so there's Austin poised to don the gloves as poor old Benjamin Williams gets taken off the field by the medics on a stretcher.
So no Prince Daniel Smith, who is their usual reserve keeper, and I would think that's a bit irresponsible by Portmore, but
this is what happened here, Chris. So he's walking, holding his head, talking to his captain Alvinus Myers, and he goes down, and Myers calls the attention of the referee to that fact at this point. So yeah, very, very strange turn of events. And you were saying, Chris, that this is unprofessional.
Yeah, a bit irresponsible from Portmore that you wouldn't have a reserve keeper, such a specialized position. And yeah, their usual reserve is Prince Daniel Smith, their usual number 2, but he isn't there, as you said. And yeah, why would you take that chance?
Yeah, but there's a bit of, okay, what happens next at the moment? I think they're trying to give Williams a chance to come back the Portmore bench, because Lenworth Hyde is in that group around him now. Austin hasn't made any move to get changed.
And it's a head issue, which, I mean, that you never know the severity of it.
So from the start of it, well, from the third week of the season, we've seen administrative issues regarding COVID causing some players to not be available for some teams. We understand that may be the issue why Prince Daniel Smith is not here as the reserve goalkeeper. Meanwhile, Austin has his number 12 top on, but he's slipped a number 32 goalkeeper's jersey above that. And he's donned the gloves and he's running onto the pitch. So Gawain Austin has entered the fray as Portmore United's reserve goalkeeper. He's a centre half by trade. Gets a hug from one of his centre halves. He'll need more than hugs, he'll need protection. And even the Harbour View boys are, Shamari Dyer just gave him a fist bump. I'm sure he'd like to score on him, Dyer, but he's welcoming him to the action anyway.
It was Young that gave him the hug, but this is a big deal for Portmore. Wow, what an opportunity for Harbour View.
So Benjamin Williams being led away, we can tell you. He may be going straight to the ambulance, but we'll get more from that. This is Shepherd. Near post with the corner, cleared by Saniki Burton. Trayvon Reed into the box. The first bit of action for Gawain Austin, and he competently catches that. Wanted to get the quick restart. They told him to keep it calm. And he goes
rushed
short
to the edge of the 18-yard box. So I wonder how much experience he has. Didn't look bad in terms of collecting that one.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, there was no hesitation about who should fill in. So maybe that's a vote of confidence in his skills between the posts.
Well, maybe the heads on the bench started to shake immediately to say no, no, no.
Yeah, no volunteers. You know, Shea Smith forward to McFarlane. Around Dyer, but can't get away from Mullings. And Amal Knight. Calm to Mullings. Now Dyer. Back to Mullings once again. Watkin has this covered with Tevin Scott closing him down, and Scott gives him a bump, and Watkin welcomed the shove so he could go down and claim a free kick. But what we know for sure is that Austin will be good with the ball at his feet, but it's in handling that he will be tested. He's already giving orders, telling Young to go long. Rose telling Young to go back to the keeper, so this is Austin once again. Will be very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Cunningham down in midfield for Portmore, who started the campaign first 2 match weeks with Eric Edwards between the sticks, but he's not here today. They're making another change. Looks like another Rose is coming on. Number 24 is going to come out for Portmore, so that's Saniki Burton out, and number 22 Jaheen Rose is coming. Jaheem Rose. Yeah, so Jaheen is here already, so Jaheem with an M coming in. Burton has left near side, and this is the other Rose who comes in.
Another player has been coached by Lenny Teacher Hyde all season. Clarendon College youngster Jaheem Rose, formerly of Wolmer's Boys as well. So now 3 Roses on the field. Demar, Jaheen, who just lost the ball by the way, yep. And Jaheem, who has just come on, and no relation between the 3.
Yep.
Well.
Substitution, 64 minutes.
Real rich.
All 3 Roses linking up. He does add something going forward though, does Jaheem, who has just come on. Good attacking player, scored quite a few goals in this schoolboy season. Usually seen in a more central role, but he's been asked to play in a wide area today in his number 22.
Zimin is coming out for Harbourview, and the number 26, Ronaldo Robinson, coming in for him.
No surprise there. I don't think Ziminis has had the best game. Hasn't been given the space, hasn't given the runs that I would like to see him utilize as well. Just don't think he's as dangerous in the central positions. I like to see when he's playing from the flank regions, because he's such a direct player in terms of how he operates, and doesn't necessarily do well in the multi-rotational roles. You know, he likes when he has a sideline one way and he just has to look the other.
Substitution is 67 minutes.
So the momentum of the game checked by the long time it took for Benjamin Williams to get treatment and then get substituted. McFarlane going the wrong way, helped out by Young. And this now is Rose. Forward to McFarlane, and McFarlane should have taken that ball early. Let it run, and it was a bad decision. Ronaldo Robbins gets his first touch, trying to play it reverse to Orland Harding, who had come inside, and is cross with himself more than the young man, the captain for Harbourview.
It's so funny how the coaches at the helm bring in a lot of players who they have coached at the schoolboy level. We've seen it with Teacher Hyde. We've now seen another example from Ludlow as well, with Robinson coming on, who's a KC old boy.
And you see it a lot with Donovan Ducky.
Yes.
Veer.
So these are players that would have matured through them under their tutelage, and obviously a lot of trust there from both perspectives.
Yeah, and you saw it with Jerome Waite at Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, a lot of Charlie Smith
boys coming through, yep.
And even though he's not there, a lot of Charlie Smith youngsters still in there. Arboyne is from there, Cephas is from there.
Yep. This is cut for Harbourview, wide to Staple. I haven't seen much of O'Shane Staple so far in this game, in the second half. This is Robinson. Watkin over there quickly. I've asked you about Watkin already, Chris, and You've said yes, that you think he's done well for Portmore, but it's not a strong yes. I know that you're a hard taskmaster. So, what do you make of his showing so far this afternoon, Chevoy Watkin?
Not bad, not bad. Not bad. I like to see his leadership a bit more from the back line. The communication, the shouting to his players to get them in the right positions at the right time. That's a role that I would like to see him do more. But yes, in terms of when he's been called upon, he's been pretty solid. Was pulled out of position on a couple occasions. I'm still looking for some improvement with him.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So room for improvement.
Not a bad player though.
Room for improvement is what Chris Taylor says as the Bears take on some. And I'm wondering why the referee, when Benjamin Williams was down getting treatment, I wondered why the water break wasn't taken at that point, given that that was an extensive period of treatment. But anyway, it's not injurious to.
That's a good point.
The proceedings, but yeah,
that's
I felt
about
it could have
game
been taken
management.
there. Yeah, I felt it could have been taken because played 3-4 minutes since that time, and we're taking the water break.
And that was a long pause.
Very long.
In fact, in a pause like that, a lot of times you probably do away with this one. I mean,
yep.
Because the players would have had an opportunity to go over by the bench, even if it wasn't officially called. It's, as I said, it comes down to the match management, game management, whatever you want to call it.
Rose to Myers. This game needs to get back into life. The extended stoppage for treatment to Williams robbed it of its momentum, as I said, and the second half really hasn't caught fire.
That comment, George, has me thinking you're a budding official. You've missed a calling.
This is Jaheen Rose to Watkin now. Young, being closed down by Robinson. Now Jaheem Rose. In the back to Watkin. Reed swooping down, and Austin, a clearance that he's made a lot of as a centre half. Excellent by Shea Smith to keep that one in on the touchline with the defender in his back. Rivaldo Mitchell. Now DeMar Rose. The man who makes Portmore play. Mitchell goes route one looking for Shea Smith. The bounce is not dealt with by Akeem Mullings, but Amal Knight very upset with Akeem Mullings and his defending, but he did what was necessary.
Talking about goalkeepers, Amal Knight, a man who has slowly worked his way up the ladder as well.
Look at Staple go. Staple versus Cunningham. And Staple with good speed got there. No, he didn't. Very good run. Yeah, determined. Yeah, Amal Knight, a very progressive goalkeeper. Played with distinction for the UWI. Had his stints overseas and is part of the Reggae Boys setup.
Yeah.
Bright young man Amal Knight is as well.
He's one of those that keeping Blake on his toes.
Yeah, man. And coaches like him because he's tactically aware. Discipline, the watchword for Amal Knight.
No doubt that Andre Blake is their #1 keeper, but it's good when there's competition.
Yes, yes.
Himself and J.D. White in the mix. You know, it's good to see Jamaica producing quality keepers, which is not something new actually.
Yep.
Oh, that pass is awful.
Tevin Scott picks it up from Watkins' bad pass into the path of Trayvon Reed. Robinson waiting in the box, so too Shepherd. Scott on the edge of it. This is Staple. Tracked all the way by DeAndre Cunningham, who may have been given instructions to shadow Staple on those overlapping runs. So far, every time Staple has gone down the right, Cunningham has tracked him and got the better of him just now. And Portmore have won this throw over on that left-hand side.
Trayvon Reed complaining with Staple, but I think Reed was guilty actually. Made the run down the right flank and then waited too long. There were a lot of options and he allowed the defenders to come back and close the position and then still gave Staple the ball.
Yep.
A bit ridiculous, and then miscontrolled the throw-in. Trayvon Reed, very talented, but does have a way to sometimes go missing in games or drops in his energy. That's something he needs to work on. Nephew of former reggae boy Roderick Reed, of course.
Yep.
Very talented player in his time.
Tevin Scott. Harding now. Can he find the cross? Short to Scott. Lovely first touch by Scott to get rid of Rose, and Scott curls this one. Goal was with Austin. Not bad at all. It was a pat down from him, not a clean catch, but it was effective.
Yeah, he keeps up like that, he might not be wearing a pair of white shorts in the next game.
Rose breaks the tackle and finds Rivaldo Mitchell. So many of the attacking players of both teams, we can see that they've gone missing, they've gone cold in the past few minutes. Mitchell and Scott battling. And the free kick goes to Harbourview.
Yeah, DeMar Rose as well as in the Portmore midfield. He's dropped deeper and deeper, so hence not as much creativity going on up front for Portmore. You wonder if it's something to do with his fitness as well.
Yeah.
Not necessarily up to scratch.
Pressing
Here
high
he is.
now. Yep.
Yeah.
Dyer. Back to his goalkeeper. Harbourview making another change, or will be making another change in short order. Their number 7 is coming on, Shavon McDonald.
I like him, George.
Yeah, I was just going to say a player that Chris Taylor rates highly, and Tevin Scott will be replaced. This is Cunningham with the header. Young turns it outside. It's going out for a throw, and the referee will allow the change now, I believe. Well, no. They're taken quickly. This is Young. And that's McDonald waiting to come in for Harbourview.
Quality player, former Cornwall College standout and captain Shavon McDonald.
Rose turned 320 degrees, got away with it. Alvin smiles. The game just needs something. We need, in these situations, you need either a crunching tackle or a brilliant goal or some audacious piece of skill. Just something to lift the performance levels of everybody out there on the park. Rose's attempted cross is blocked by Otherland Harding. And now the change will be made. What do you make of Tevin Scott's contribution as he's being replaced right now for Harbourview?
Pretty solid, but not as much runs as I would have loved to see from Scott.
Oh, no, hold on. Lord Bernard just
change.
indicated that the change should wait. He signaled to the fourth official, not yet.
I think partially because they're defending and Scott had gotten deep to help out, and he's one of the tallest players on the Harbourview team.
Rose deemed to have used his hand to block Scott's forward pass. And it's a free kick to Harbourview in their own half. Change still not being made yet. Dodo Bernard told the fourth official expressed it, not yet.
Sean Fraser is quarrelling about it, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Let's hope one of these substitutes can give us what we want to really take this game back up to competitive levels. It's just...
Yeah, it's lost its tempo.
Yeah.
And it's also spoiling your average, George.
Oh yes, my friend, and that's what I'm very much caring about.
I knew it was really that.
Harding to the back post. He wanted to put it to the back post, but Stephen Young, who as Chris said has recovered very well from that early wobble, was on point to block it. Still no change just yet because Harbourview will take this corner.
Scott is tired though, so I'm not surprised by the change. What he does add is his presence up front. Yeah,
it comes now.
Yeah. He was struggling, Scott. So, yeah, presence up front, strong in the challenge. Want to see more runs from him, though, a more innovative play, but not a bad shift. Apart from that one chance in the first half, which was well thwarted by Williams.
Yep.
Nothing really for the number 13. McDonald will add something different. Good pass of the ball. He will add some creativity as well. Seems like he's getting taller and taller every time I see him.
Yeah, I was going to say to you that Scott has size, but McDonald has presence because of his height.
Very intelligent player, McDonald. Very creative. Good leader.
Shepherd's corner to the back post for Stewart. Stewart sends it back in, and they've tried that tactic several times this afternoon. It hasn't worked yet because Stewart hasn't really gotten the connection that is required.
So it's a good idea, and the ball gets to Stewart, and he's not challenged, but he needs to do better in terms of getting the ball back across the goal, forcing that defense line to have to turn once again. And I think a really good chance could be created out of that if Stewart was to do better.
Rose.
They found him every time.
Robbed by McDonald. Good first intervention by the ex-Cornell College man. Sends Trayvon Reed down this right-hand side. Reed puts the cross in. It's met by Stephen Young. That was a vital intervention. Still alive. But now Portmore clear their lines. Smith. And Trayvon Reed knocks it out, and it's a throw, and a bit of afters between those two, but nothing serious. Portmore lining up 2 changes as Lenny Hyde looks for not even a route back into this game. He's looking for something, looking to get back into the game is the obvious thing that he wants from his substitutes to help him to do. Rose back to Young. Mitchell to Rose. McFarlane under pressure from Dyer, beats Dyer and goes down, and the assistant referee on this near side says yes, you grabbed him, to Dyer, and it's a free kick.
Well played by McFarlane. Good strength. Not the biggest player, McFarlane, but use his space well.
Markland Burton, one of those coming on for Portmore United, number 25. As soon as referee Nemhard acknowledges his colleague over on that far side, they're ready for the change, but
it seems very hard for these teams to make changes.
Yeah, Nemhard isn't ready.
The communication not really going on with Nemhard and the 4th official.
Cunningham with the free kick. Harding being told he was too close, but he's creeping back forward. Referee doesn't see that. Garth Stewart did very well there, the tallest man in the park, and he made his height count. Rose robs Robinson, and it goes down. Harding says, I didn't touch him. Referee Nemhard says, well, it's not what you think, it's what I say you did.
But it's not Harding who he has as a guilty player.
Well, Harding was saying that to him, though,
yeah,
that he wasn't touched. Well, as the captain, he was speaking up in defense of his team, and the referee was just telling them off. So this is the replay. And I think it was a collision of Portmore men. I don't know. That was a free kick.
Substitution for Portmore.
So Javik McFarlane, one of the St. Lucians, leaves the park.
Replaced by number 25.
And Markland Burton replaces him. And number 19 comes out as well, DeAndre Cunningham. And he'll be replaced by number 29.
Johnny Ray. Substitution 82nd minute.
Header on goal by Stephen Young. It's blocked. Found himself in the box, won the header, then it fell to his feet, and his shot was blocked, headed away by Kasim Priestley. Harbour View under some pressure. Robinson battling Rose. And here's Trayvon Reed to Robinson, and Rose got a vital touch, Jaheen Rose, because Shavon McDonald was just waiting on that Trayvon Reed pass to reach him. This is the free kick once again. Stevie Young won the header. It came off his leg and rolled into his path for the shot.
Reacted well, Young. Snapshot well blocked by Kasim Priestley. And then, as you said, the overlapping run. I actually think Trayvon Reed was looking for Robinson initially and not McDonald, but it just went ahead of Robinson, and McDonald was hoping that it would have gone further.
Priestley trots across to take this corner. 83rd minute. Whips this one in, and it's met near post by Austin. And the ball whipped forward. It's a brilliant save by Gawain Austin from Shamari Dyer, but Dyer was offside. But it still takes nothing away from the effort, and for Director is kind, he shows that again. That was a tremendous save from the makeshift goalkeeper.
Very good. Gawain Austin, I'm impressed. His footwork.
Wow.
Yeah. Good hands as well. Even though it was offside, he wouldn't have known in the moment. And tipped it over the bar like a real number one.
Shea Smith on the sprint for Portmore. All played in, and it's too far for Janelle Ray. And it runs out. This is the replay. This is Priestley's. It's the first save by Austin, and then look at this.
Look at the recovery, yes. Was going right, had to, oh wow. Change of direction, very agile. Did well. Does have good height, does Austin, and that's an excellent save. Wouldn't have counted, but he wouldn't have known.
Our director, Kerry Gibbons, says he just had a flashback of when he was a college boy and the saves he made at goalkeeper in the SSFL in Trinidad and Tobago. Here's O'Shane Staple running onto this loose ball. What does he do? Staple had a thought about the shot and he fires one! O'Shane Staple from distance! In that moment, Gawain Austin looked like a replacement goalkeeper, a fill-in, a stopgap. And O'Shane Staple said, stop that stopgap goalkeeper. And Austin couldn't.
Staple known for his brilliant strikes. Here's another. And I'd like to tell you, I don't think Benjamin Williams would have saved that either. Excellent strike by Staple. He's been known for that all season. And lovely. That must have been from about 25 yards out into the far corner. Great instep technique. And yeah. Dust it off all and try again.
The boy's a bit of a technician, O'Shane Staple. His ball control, the way he strikes it, you can see he puts a premium on technique. On that dribble, he looked up, thought about it, then took another stride, took another touch, and then he gave it the treatment. And Austin could do nothing about it. 2-0 to Harbourview.
Started the game very brightly, Staple, and then after the first 20 minutes or so, was reluctant to overlap anymore, kind of sat deep. Got a little bit of a right-footed injury. Well, you certainly didn't see any signs of that. Lovely strike. And his third of the season. Joins Trayvon Reed on 3 as the leading goal scorers for Harbourview.
Ronaldo Robinson tries his luck from distance now and being applauded by his teammates for his enterprise, and gets a high five from Trayvon Reed as well as he ran by Ronaldo Robinson. So they're telling them to shoot on sight at this goalkeeper because he's not supposed to be there.
Way too flat in the second half though, Portmore. Just not the same intensity that we saw in the first, and the impact players playing a little bit too deep for my liking, especially DeMar Rose, and Harbourview making full use of it. Credit to them. They have soaked up the pressure and taken their chances, which have been far and few between.
Rose. Priestley. Firm clearance. So Harbourview have some breathing space. As we are into the 87th minute, we're going to have a sizable chunk of added time when the clock shows 90. Well, after the clock shows 90 because of the lengthy treatment to the stricken Benjamin Williams. Young has some work to do to keep this in. Harding closing him down. And Young, to Mullings. Lovely by Mullings over the head of Janelle Ray. And this is Shavon McDonald. Does he take a strike? McDonald winds it up. He was looking for the curler, but the connection wasn't the best.
Good idea, but not the execution. Took a little bit too long as well. McDonald said the angle was closed. But again, beautiful skill by Mullins. Look at this. Slowing coming forward, Harbourview, and they're 2-0 down. Need to move the ball quickly.
Portmore haven't played in the second half because for some reason DeMar Rose has almost like he's gone deeper and deeper as the game has gone on. Priestley. Well, it's Shepherd this time who's down. Deal with fine. Goes down again. Yeah, and it's that phase of the game with a lead. You milk the clock.
at the start of the game, Jamon Shepherd spoke about Harbourview taking their chances when they get them, and they've certainly done that this afternoon. So the training ground has worked.
But what Staples' goal was so good that you wouldn't chalk it down as a classic chances.
No, not necessarily a chance.
Gotten, yeah, that was just brilliance.
And I'm sure in training he would try those things quite a bit as well. Practices his kicking and his overlapping run, but yeah, definitely not a chance.
So the SportsMax app moment, they say, is this from the makeshift goalkeeper from Portmore United, Gawain Austin. Oh, look at this save from Dyer. The angle from behind, the camera angle from behind the goal is even more impressive. This one, look at this. Absolutely stupendous. Pick any great goalkeeper anywhere, and they'd have been proud of that. A yellow card to Rose for the foul on Trayvon Reed. Those two at it again. The two men who came together and caused the penalty in the first half, awarded to Trayvon Reed for Rose's foul on him in the box. And Rose gets the booking. Jaheim Rose now. Janelle Ray. Oh, Mitchell couldn't get there, and Mullings safety first, clearing the danger. Shea Smith robbed and wins it back. Does well. This is Jaheim Rose. Oh, trying to exchange passes with Smith, who's frustrated because the ball is overhit and Trayvon Reed is on the run. He loves to be in these situations. Dribbles between two men, bursts away, and he's fouled. Ronaldo Robinson keeps it alive and crashes. One goal, which is saved by Gawain Austin, but the referee had blown for offside.
So anticlimactic as we see the yellow card confirmed for Jaheim Rose. Wow.
Caution in 90th minute.
Jaheim Rose carded in number 20.
So Shepherd being taken out by Harbourview, no doubt to waste some time. Number 27. And number 20 is coming in. Jay Jamison.
There's Jaheim. Conceded a penalty, picks up a yellow card. It's been a rough afternoon for him and his team.
Myers under pressure and took exception to Trayvon Reed's tackle, and they're exchanging words, the St. Lucian and the Jamaican, as we look at the newest entrant. Jay Jamison, number 20 for Harbourview. Watkin. Big switch. Mullings did very, very well. Absolutely pushing Portmore all the way back with that clearance, Akeem Mullings. So this is O'Shane Steve. Look at it. Thought about it there, then took another touch and bang! And in that moment, Austin's footwork non-existent. But as Chris said, maybe if Benji Williams was between the sticks, he'd have trouble getting across and turning that one away. Harding exchanges passes with McDonald. McDonald closed down by Jaheim Rose. Now Rivaldo Mitchell can't beat Mullings. Mullings driving forward. He has a pop with the left foot, and Austin watches it run across behind for a goal kick.
Six minutes to be played. Well, Harbourview haven't had the most impressive performance, but they're certainly getting the job done. This man who is about to tackle, well, his goal certainly deserves a big say. Staple started very well in the first half, kind of died down a bit, but you can't take away his defensive solidity. And Harbourview have managed thus far to keep a clean sheet as well. I want to tell you, if Portmore was in the ascendancy, that part-time goalkeeper would have gotten my vote. Excellent.
Here they come once again, Portmore. Can they dirty this clean sheet that Harbourview are holding on to? Stewart, safety first, out for a throw. We'll finish the game today, it appears, Garth Stewart. Credit to him for an improved performance.
You did say that.
Yeah, from the perspective of Lodo Bernard.
Had some shifty moments in the
early.
in both halves.
Yeah.
But came away with it.
Rose. To the other Rose. To another Rose. Lifts it into the box looking for Smith. It falls to him. Shea Smith! He can't find the back of the net. Whistling by Amal Knight's left-hand post. And the goalkeeper wondering, how did he manage to control and turn there so free? Why was he so free? Is the inquest, the one-man inquest being led by the goalkeeper.
Not the best by Stewart. And then Dyer with a very lackadaisical attempt to close him down. What about Stewart? Surging forward, and they're in their defensive third. I'm not sure what Stewart was trying to achieve. And then the long legs couldn't get a touch.
Well, Dyer will tell you that Stewart put him off clearing that ball.
Correct. Smith should have done better though, for sure.
Yes.
The 2-goal man. And again, it was a pass from Demaros.
Yep.
In and around that 18-yard
measured
box.
Perfectly over the top. This is O'Shane Staple. First time cross to Trayvon Reed. Otherland Harding kicks and misses. Still alive. Harding. Reed falling away, and it's over the bar. It's a goal kick.
What about that overlapping run by O'Shane Staple yet again? Beautiful delivery into the box.
Isn't he your man of the match?
Well, certainly.
There you go.
A strike from 25 yards like that, he would be upset if not.
Rose to Rose, forward to Myers. Portmore. Asked if they could get one back, and Shea Smith passed up the opportunity. He'd be the man who would want that chance just now. Probably still disbelieving that he missed from inside the 6-yard box. Priestley read that flick from Rose, and Robinson,
cheeky.
Yeah, and Staple forward to Reed. Oh, that's a lovely pass by Staple. McDonald and Reed exchanging passes. What can Reed do against Watkin? Beats him. Gets the cross in, but he was running out of room and he couldn't bring it back into play. So it's a goal kick, which Austin takes early, but from the wrong place. I'll forgive him for that. From the wrong place again. And the assistant referee stops him this time. There you go. That's it, sir.
Showed his lack of experience, Austin, in terms of where to kick from, but this was the opportunity. It would fall to Trayvon Reed, his captain, setting it for him, but the left foot just not doing the job.
And referee Nemhard has seen enough. A strange game in parts, really lit up by O'Shane Staples. Wonderful strike from 25+ yards out for the second goal of the game. The first was scored by Trayvon Reed. That's him from the penalty spot. 1-0 it was at half-time. And then the second half interrupted by a lengthy period of treatment to the Portmore United goalkeeper Benjamin Williams, which required him to be substituted. And as there was no substitute goalkeeper or reserve goalkeeper in the Portmore squad, a centre-half Gawain Austin had to deputise. And that's him. Did reasonably well, he did, but he couldn't keep out Staples' thunderbolt. And Portmore fall to yet another defeat. Harbourview winning by 2-0. Dyer's long ball over the top. Zimenez couldn't decide what he wanted to do, and Williams decided for him. He said, I'll take that, son. Then brain freeze by Stephen Young. Trayvon Reed got in, but Benjamin Williams, it was a brilliant save. Really, really brilliant save. Just fingertips, he got to it, but just enough to tip it onto the post. And then Staple, excellent first touch. Williams with a good block, and then Staple found this one going to the target, but blocked by Saniki Burton. And Trayvon Reed will work with Shepherd. First time to Scott. Scott's shot blocked by Benjamin Williams, who got hurt for his troubles, hurt by his own defender. Brave from the goalie though. And then DeMar Rose measuring this one perfectly for Saniki Burton, but got the shot wrong with the left foot. after the brilliant first touch. And here's Burton once again. Shea Smith will get there, taken out by Garth Stewart, but referee Nemhard saw nothing wrong with this. None of the Portmore players appealed for anything. Shea Smith himself didn't appeal, and Trayvon Reed battling with Jaheen Rose. Rose did well, blocked him from going forward, and then Rose did not so well. Reached in, fouled Trayvon Reed. Referee said penalty. When Reed went to Williams' right, Williams frustrated, felt that guessing right, he should have effected the save, but the penalty had too much pace, and that's what Williams happened to him in the second half, taken off on the stretcher, and he made this brilliant double save, the second of which from a Dyer shot. Dyer was in an offside position, but he wasn't to know Gawain Austin, and that was the first punch, which was competent. And then look at this, a worldie from the centre half turned goalkeeper, and then he did this, the goalkeeper played it through, and Staple thought about the shot, then took the ball forward a little further forward, and then really gave it some violence, and Austin could do nothing about it. The goalkeeper assisting the Harbourview man to score the second and final goal of the afternoon. So Harbourview winning 2-0, 19 shots overall. There were 10 shots on target, 8 for Harbourview, 18 fouls, an even split, 3 yellow cards, 2 for the Portmore United boys, 3 offside calls, 7 corners. Harbourview had 6 of them, and the Portmore United goalkeeper required to make 4 saves. Portmore 58% of the possession. Chris Taylor is downstairs with O'Shane Staple.
Thank you, George. O'Shane, talk to me about that strike. What a strike. You hesitated twice, 3 times, but then what a bullet.
Well, I realized I was a bit far away from goal. So I had the space in front of me, I carried it, and I realized that the defender wasn't coming towards me. Then I take the shot.
Excellent. Well, congrats to you. Enjoy your goal. Enjoy the 3 points. I will see you next week.
Thank you very much.
O'Shane Staple, our man of the match, with that beautiful shot from 25 yards out. Tashana Vincent now joins me, assistant coach of Portmore. Tashana, you had the better of the play in the first half, but not creating enough chances, and that's what we've seen from Portmore so far this season, just 4 goals.
Definitely, and that is something that we just have to go back to the drawing board and work on. But before the game starts, let us just address the elephant in the room. Before the game starts, 3 of our players showed up extremely late for the game. 2 who was in the starting lineup. As you could see, we had to make a goalkeeping change, and we didn't have a goalkeeper because one of the 3 players that showed up late was our substitute goalkeeper. And at Portmore, we want to emphasize the discipline because we are known for that. So we have no problem losing like this. You know, we made 2 last-minute adjustments, and it didn't work out for us today. We just have to go back and work on the things that we see that we need to work on.
All right, Tashana, all the best for next week. We're strapped for time, but I just want to say Austin was brilliant between the sticks.
Definitely. I think we need to look into Gawain becoming one of our goalkeepers, right?
All right, no problem.
You.
Take care. Right. Sean Fraser now joins me, assistant coach at Harbourview. Sean soaked up the pressure well from a club perspective, and then when you got the chances, finally taking them, a good result and a clean sheet.
Yeah, first of all, we have to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, especially for this opportunity, for this moment. I think we started the game well. We created about 4 chances in 21 minutes, which we should have put the game away. But these things happen in football. We kept the team in the game by not scoring our chances. So, I mean, obviously we're going to come under pressure.
Congrats to you and the team. Enjoy the 3 points. We look forward to seeing you next week and movement up the table.
Yeah, definitely. This victory is very, very good for us. All right.
Yeah, so after 90 minutes in this game, Harbourview beating Portmore United 2-0. The goal scorers Trayvon Reed in the first half. A penalty